Our first deck today is not leveraging new champions, but people who are longtime fans of the channel know that I have a long, sweet history with cards like this, and I think there's a good chance that this card's very playable. So Hexcore Foundry says, round start, all players draw one extra card. So this draws you, remember, because turns in Runeterra happen simultaneously, this gets you an extra card when you're attacking, and it gets you an extra card when your opponent's attacking as well. So you draw a lot of extra cards with something like this. And the basic idea with Runeterra, or with that, not even just with Runeterra, but with deck building games in general, is that doing powerful things often involves taking an effect like this that is symmetrical and then building your deck in a way that you gain more advantage from the symmetry than your opponent does. So there's two ways in which we're going to take advantage of Hexcore Foundry. So the first is that the overall curve in this deck is pretty low. So one of the ways we can take advantage of the flow of extra cards from Hexcore Foundry is simply by the fact that we will be able to consistently play out all of the cheap things that we are drawing more likely than our opponent. The second way in which we're going to take advantage of Hexcore Foundry is Puff Cap. So Puff Cap, Peddler, and other various things that stick Puff Caps in the deck. Puff Caps attach themselves to your opponent's cards, and then your opponent takes a damage when they draw a card with a Puff Cap. So we have Puff Cap Peddler, we have Chumpawump, we've got Teemo, the cute little war criminal down here at the bottom end of our curve, ready to put a bunch of mushrooms onto things. Blightnin, thanks for the 14 months, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So yeah, other than that, we've just got a bunch of good interaction. We've got some Mystic Shots, we've got some Vile Feast, we've got, oh yeah, at the top end of our curve, we've got format staple Go Hard here, which it puts 2 extra copies of itself back into your deck, and then eventually it has Pack Your Bags. So drawing lots of extra cards means that you're going to get to pack your bags quickly, and this card in the late game means that you are not at a risk of decking out when your opponent is, because what was I waiting on? Because you are going to be putting extra copies of this back into your deck, and your opponent, unless they're also playing Go Hard, will not be able to do that. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. Ezreal might be better than Teemo. I like the idea of Teemo not only from mushrooms, but also from a curve perspective. There is a real concern about having too many cards in your hand and not being able to leverage the upside of the Hexcore landmark. Oh, and it's cool. Thank you for the 20 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Blightnin, thanks for the 14. Good morning. Someone asked if I'm going to get prismatic cards. I am waiting to find out if Riot is going to be hooking LPP members up with whatever the currency is for that before I spend actual money on it. Alright, so Piltover Noxious. This is likely a burn deck. I think I'm keeping one Doom Beast because they're likely a burn deck, but I think I'm actually mulliganing the second because it can be tough to enable this cheaply early. Elise is just a good champion. Elise is just a good champion. She pressures control early, and she blocks reasonably against aggro. So we'll bank Spell Mana this turn. We'll get to pop off Mystic Shot on something next turn, then play Doom Beast. Mepia, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. The soundtrack on this board is really sweet. Really would like some of our copies of Go Hard. Definitely just trading off Teemo here. We want to keep our life total as high as possible. We have a pretty good turn next turn. We get to go second Teemo into Doom Beast again here, which is great. Do champ shuffled in with champ spells count as created cards for augment? I imagine so. I don't see why they wouldn't. Wow, look at the way they massacred my boy, chat. It's fine, I brought my backup Teemo.
Come closer. I don't bite. Just gonna put this here.
Yeah. So generically speaking, from a theory perspective, aggressive decks would be the place where something like what we're playing would really struggle because we're providing aggro with a ton of extra cards. But our deck has a ton of card draw in it, which makes that a lot less of an issue. And you can see our opponent taking a really aggressive stance here. They're choosing to push damage with that transfusion as opposed to saving their unit. Yep, yeah, the new set released yesterday afternoon. So I actually posted three decks with the new set last night, and my first highlight will be going up in 2 minutes with the new set. Oh, I think if I'm gonna be starting earlier in the day with my live stream, I'm gonna schedule my highlights to go live a little bit earlier. I'd been posting my highlights on the highlight channel an hour before I went live, but that's normally now, and I'm gonna be starting at 9 a.m. moving forward so we can fit more Runeterra in the mornings. Static Shock was my favorite superhero growing up.
Status high. An expert is at work.
I mean, Vengeance will be fine here. Vengeance will play. I'm gonna do this now while they don't have Noxian Fervor mana available. K9GM. It's been a while since I caught somebody on Twitch instead of YouTube, but the new set is hype. Here's hoping Victor feels good. Thank you for the 23 months. Welcome back. And perfect. Here's 10 mana. Love it.
War Mason, reporting for duty.
See, Vengeance is fine. Not a big deal. It feels to me like this set release is the first time I've looked at every champion in the set and felt like, yeah, they nailed all of these in the first draft. In other sets like Shyvana ended up there. Yeah, I agree, Press Pick. This is the best set release they've done so far. We're still pretty healthy 12 here, which you love to see.
Your path ends here.
We can dodge a Captain Pharaon, we can dodge a ball. Okay, I want to just do this now.
Have a mushroom. Have three.
Have three.
Finding details is my duty.
Man, the music on this board's a banger, huh?
Me mask, secure me tail, start the day. Oh, that's a harvest right there.
There they go.
Alright, you got some spooky spiders. My board ain't scared. We're not cowards. Let's do it. And then opponent's got almost one puff cap to one card, so. See, I'm a giver, chat. That'll do, big. That'll do. Marginal high roll there with 20 puff caps on 22 cards, but about the average. Get that Platinum 4 gamer, chat. Platinum 4 rank floor. Feels like home. Feels like home. It is the giving season. I think I want to keep both the go-hards. I think I want to try and get this set up early to blow their board out. Thanks for the 17 months, Blitz Legend. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
To serve the greater good. Finally, some action.
Don't make fun of my deck names. Can call my decks what I want to call my decks, okay? Why is it called Howling Mine? I get Howling Mine and MTG. Get rid of the H on Howling Mine. Well, for reference, so I think I just cast this now while the getting is good. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and cast this one first, so they can't attack. It is worth noting that, like most of the decks we play on this channel, this is not a Jeff Hoagland original. This is a viewer submission. Shout out to Hoaglandia for providing us with an endless stream of sweet things to play.
When will I find peace?
All of the key guardians are belong to you. All right, can we beat the combo deck while we're giving them cards, chat? Therein lies the question. Okay, that's a good start.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Or wumps, am I right?
Their art IP is so good. I, again, would just like to point out the fact, as I learn more about this world, like, the people who were upset that, what's the word I'm searching for? The people upset that K-pop things were included into this world are so funny to me because there's so many just like of that style of thing in this game, like in this steampunky universe. I think I'd rather kill Ribbon than the Tasty Tree folk here. Deny them the Reforge for next turn. That could be wrong though. It could be right to prioritize taking their lifesteal out of play, but I also feel like I'm just not gonna be in a position. I also feel like I'm just not gonna be in a position to kill them anytime soon. Zoe, not close. Zoe's everything I love doing in card games. She's great. It's a steampunk universe, not a steam pop universe. Okay, so if they had been like a Panic at the Disco cover band, it would have been okay. But because it's K-pop, it's unacceptable. Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
To see you, Master.
I mean, I don't think The Walking Dead is a good comparison because The Walking Dead is another IP coming into your IP, whereas the K-pop stuff is Riot expanding their IP with a real-world concept. So, like, instead of Walking Dead, the comparison would be, well, just generic zombies. The Walking Dead cards are playable in Magic's Legacy formats, yeah. Which is what a lot of people were upset with. Legacy Vintage Commander. Yeah, Magic has official Walking Dead themed cards. So, I think I'm ruinating here. Actually, what if we just pass? I'm gonna pass. They might just bank spell mana here. That might be wrong. I don't know. Maybe we can get them. It might be... Okay, sweet. We're probably getting denied here. But then, like, if this gets denied, hopefully Vengeance resolves. No, that just worked. Okay, deal. Deal.
Looks like I'm ready.
Looks like I'm ready.
Hold a world within.
Have a mushroom. Have 3. The King's Shield. Opponents averaging more than 1 puff cap per card at this point. Hello.
See the world behind a basilisk.
So, something I like to talk about, because it's something that runs counter to what a lot of people in card games do, or talk about, or think. It's really important or not important. It's really stupid how many people latch onto deck ideas and try and, like, claim them as their own. Like, even if I had been the one to put this specific list together, pairing Hexcore Foundry with mushrooms is the obvious intended use of the card. And anybody who's, like, acting like it's innovative or like their baby or they started it is very, very silly. Deck ownership in general is largely silly in my opinion. When game designers like the people making Runeterra or any other card game create cards for their game, they very clearly intend for these synergies to exist, and players are largely just discovering synergies that the devs intentionally put into the game, as opposed to being super original. I think the concept of deck ownership in general tends to get pretty toxic. And past it being the discourse being toxic a lot of the time, it also just largely doesn't make sense for that reason. Like, if two people can discover calculus simultaneously, two people could definitely discover an archetype that was clearly engineered into the game specifically at the same time. Our opponent destroyed our mine. Opponent just playing landmark interaction here. Okay, so pretty sure the plan here is try to gain some life.
Beg your pardon?
It's a good one, Digits. Wait, did they just misclick? Oh, that's a huge misclick. They just denied the Vile Feast by mistake instead of the Vengeance. Ouch. Yikes. Rough beat. Yeah, it had to have been a misclick.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Nah, there's no reason for them to concede. They could easily draw Lee Sin and kill us here. They have Blade of Exile. Blade plus Lee is lethal at this point. Okay.
Come closer. I don't.
So you block the thing, you Vengeance to play around deny. It had quick attack. So blocking it didn't really do anything.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
But yes, if it didn't have quick attack blocking, it would be appropriate. Are we murdering my Ledras here? No, just that. Got it.
My time.
I'll recite your rights.
We must
We're killing this finally. I'm gonna continue killing their 2/1s for now, because there's a chance that we kill them with puff caps. They have a little bit more than one puff cap per card at this point.
I write the rules. Ooh, quite a collection.
Alright, if Teemo hits, they're statistically dead. Because that'll put them to 32 puff caps in 12 cards thereabout.
Breathe in, breathe out. Silly thing.
see every
Maybe I'm not supposed to give them a blocker for this. This might be wrong. I also perhaps should have saved Teemo because of the potential to draw Doom Beast there. Yeah, I'm gonna get combo killed by this Lee Sin and I'm gonna deserve it. Yeah, I think I messed that up. I think I should have only attacked with these two. We're gonna draw a 2-ball here. We're gonna be real sad. Alright, they didn't draw a 2-ball. Got it. Yep, and that's lethal. So, Lee Sin still combo kills. Still feels bad. I really hope Riven Lee Sin is bad, because I really don't want to play against Lee Sin. That card getting nerfed back to 5 and being largely unplayable. Nah, Lee Sin's just like marginally novel. It's still shit tier frustrating. Astrogoth, thanks for the 13 months. It feels very magic adjacent. Has a bunch of nopifies and denies, and you can't interact with it inside of combat because of all of its barriers. The sword is a big upgrade for Lee Sin, yes. Hopefully it's just novel because it's new, and it will fall back into being unplayable. But Lee Sin, the Lee Sin deck basically sidesteps everything that's good about Runeterra as a game. So I hope that it settles back into. I'm gonna wait to play this until I can glimpse it. I think here. Seto Drive and Zaga, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. There's a good chance they're a Hexcore Foundry deck too.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Why do people intentionally rope in this game? I think a lot of people assume animosity when there's lots of other reasons. There's lots of other reasons for things to happen. You're playing a game that has a mobile client and sometimes real life occurs. As someone who has 3 small children, I think your opponent's roping you intentionally a lot less often than you think. Your opponent is likely roping intentionally a lot less often than you would assume. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, think of how often think of how often you sit and play Runeterra, and playing Runeterra is the only thing that you are doing. The answer is not very often. Yeah, I'm supposed to glimpse there actually instead of making a copy.
There was a little fella asking for me.
That's pretty scary. Like I said, they might also be doing something similar to what we're doing. Why does this deck run Elise? Instead of me telling you why we run Elise, can you tell me why I shouldn't run Elise? What card would you replace her with? Why would you replace her with that card? Instead of me telling you why she's good, tell me why she's bad.
mushrooms could talk.
And replace Elise with Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's a solid suggestion. Okay, so but here's the thing. People always, they're like, Jeff, you need to hold people's hands more. Listen, this is why education systems suck in a lot of parts of the world. A good teacher isn't just going to lecture you. The way you get better at games and the way you get better at, not even games, the way you get better at understanding things in general, shitty teachers give you lectures. Good teachers ask you questions and make you think for yourself. And I know that we live in a culture where people are lazy and want to be spoon-fed, but like, I don't expect you to have the perfect answer, but that shouldn't prevent you from trying. Like, you're new at the game, sure, you might not have a good reason why you think Elise is bad, but give me something and let's have a discussion about it. Tell me why you think it doesn't belong, and from that point I can better answer why it does for you. And you will learn more and get more out of the engagement rather than me just telling you, Elise good, play good cards.
Firing.
For anybody that's new to the channel, before I became a full-time meme here on Twitch, I have a graduate degree and an undergraduate degree in mathematics where I had minors in teaching while I did that. I spent time teaching at colleges and universities, spent a little bit of time teaching high school. Really decided teaching high school wasn't for me pretty quickly though. Feels like we're pretty dead here. We've got way more puff caps in our deck than they do. And I will say this, the best part about teaching here on Twitch is I get to just tell people when they're being silly. Arc Great, thanks for the follow. Flaming DeBird, welcome to the channel. We have to kill these puff cap peddlers, right? I just can't leave these out here. The number one reason I ended up transitioning to get my graduate degree and teach college was because when parents come to you in college, they're like, how's my child doing in your class? You got to tell them to just bugger off because you legally couldn't tell them. It's like, I need you to have your child sign this piece of paper before I can tell you their grades. I don't care if you pay for their classes. Vaults of Helia, preferably with one of the new champs. I think we can give that a try, Blitz Legend. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, I think we're super dead at this point.
What a tangled web.
What a tangled web. Mono-noxious. So, the upside to being mono-noxious is the allegiance payoff. So they're probably just like an overwhelm aggro deck playing Riven as the second champion. I don't think that game really looked at specific merits of build to build so much as the opponent got mushroom generators into play and had removal for our mushroom generators and we didn't have removal for theirs. Like the entirety of that game came down to who kept the mushroom generators in play. I forgot to respond to forum submissions. Yeah, donate away. Anybody watching that submitted decks, feel free to donate for them. My standards, most Runeterra decks end up being fine, and my standards at release time are rock bottom.
Words of power linger in the air.
think I want to trade this into Runeweaver. I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. We'll plan to Mystic Shot this. Yeah, the only thing that probably matters in the mirror is Buff Gap Peddler. And they had double Peddler and we did not.
Hands to wield a weapon. The heart and mind to aim its strike.
Huh?
Finding details is my duty.
Alright, now I think we're going to trade for this.
Beg your pardon?
And then we'll Mystic Shot to kill here. I mean, to be fair, Alan plays a ton of Spooky Karma. He loves that deck.
Finally, peace.
Nothing but Noxian might!
There's the card we expected them to have. That Allegiance payoff. So it gets a bonus if the top card of their deck is the same region.
Explosive prod.
Wow, kind of surprised they didn't open attacks there.
Secure me tail. Start the day.
To serve the greater good.
I think I'm playing this as a game 3 here.
No turning back now.
Yeah, Elise is just a sounds good thump. I'll get that bumped up after the stream today. Elise is just a generically good card. Elise is, what you need to understand with Elise is, Elise doesn't look super impressive or crazy on the surface, but she's also just a 2-mana card. And a 2-mana card that generates a value like Elise generates value is really powerful. It puts multiple bodies out against aggro to block, and against control, it creates multiple bodies that they have to kill.
Fuse his legs!
I'm just gonna do this. I'm probably gonna take a hit here still post-combat, but I don't think I think if I pass back, they're gonna attack for 6. Morning, Carter.
I have my orders.
The new expansion has been great. I think this is easily the best card drop Riot's done.
They'll never see it coming.
So far, Ruination and Vengeance have not felt particularly good in this deck. I feel like I would just like more cheap things to play to the board. Especially with iterative improvement in my deck, it doesn't feel like I have enough good targets for iterative improvement. That card also might just be bad and worth cutting it to play more stuff to the board. I don't know if Ballistic Bot really goes in this deck. We're not playing things like Rummage or Sump Dredger at the moment. Honestly, some copies of Get Excited could be good. This is a very reasonable card that, like, as the game goes late, we're kind of a burn deck. And if we have Hexcore Boundary going, we probably have plenty of cards for this. I don't know. Aftershock's expensive. Aftershock's also slow. So, like, being able to kill things when they want to open attacks feels valuable, especially when I have Hexcore Foundry drawing me multiple cards per turn. I'm gonna start with Get Excited and see how it goes. The problem with Aftershock is like we're gonna be drawing our opponent back into more of their things a lot of the time. I mean, to be fair, even if Riot didn't give me stuff for being part of their LPP program, it's really not that expensive to have stuff in Runeterra. Speaking of the LPP, Saturday afternoon, starting at noon Pacific time, myself and a number of the other LPP members will be playing a Riot-sponsored pick ban tournament here on Twitch. We'll all be streaming our perspectives of it. It's going to be a double elimination tournament. Looking forward to playing in that on Saturday. Nivik, thank you for the 35 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Gotta get out of here.
This is a cute card with Victor. Is it in client? No, it's gonna be a little bit more casual than that, isn't Toth? It's also not going to be that long. The tournament I was casting was last weekend, the Drunk Owl. That was the first seasonal championship.
Exalt me like the god I am.
Meow! 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 Just gonna murder this now while they don't have resources up, so that way they can't glimpse it.
I rise anew. Show me mask, secure me tail. Stop.
Hey, Magic Modi, good morning. Thank you for the sub gifty. Hope life's treating you well. Get some pup caps here. One of these will level our little war criminal. The other will get discarded to Get Excited to kill the Niandroid.
Masterpiece. Without pause.
You cannot gift your Prime sub, unfortunately. But if you wanted to send me your Prime sub in a roundabout way, you could Prime sub to Christy's channel. She's an affiliate. That's my wife. My wife's channel. She hasn't streamed in a while, but it technically still exists. So, with the second blockers here, I think I'm gonna Puff Cat Peddler and then Get Excited here.
Join the glorious evolution.
The man with the glowing beam.
Victor's kind of scary. I think I do this now just to get the Puff Caps in their deck. I really wish Twitch would let people like paid sub and Prime sub on the same channel. That would be ideal. It's really awkward that they don't. You'd think they'd want money from people.
Clumsy design.
Excuse me? Yeah, deal. They must have a second Victor, right? They must have a second Victor.
Vi stands for violence. I don't need a plan. This.
So far, our deck... we haven't had a good Hexcore draw. And the couple of times we drew Hexcore, our opponents destroyed it. And our deck without Hexcore has felt real medium so far. A lot of pretty individual, low-quality cards. There's a chance that not playing like the Rummage Sump Dredger like package. Yeah, like I think there's a chance we should have like the Rummage Sump Dredger package because getting to this is excuse me? Alright, so this must be dying to a piece of spot removal here, right? Alright. This is my favorite Zoe deck yesterday. Both the Freljord and the Bilgewater builds felt good. For reference, for people that are new to the channel or just older and haven't adjusted to the change yet, I'm posting highlights every single day on my highlights channel, so if you're wondering what are the best decks I've enjoyed playing from the new set, I'll be uploading a video with the best deck every single day there. Yeah, maybe the opponent wasn't paying attention and thought they had the attack token. That's very possible. This card's kind of sweet with Victor. Lobo Manu, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Oh, it's bringing back the Shark Chariot they rolled.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Yeah, all of the real YouTubers, they have separate channels for their stream archives versus their daily highlight videos, so I decided I'm going to split that up for a couple of months and see if that impacts my YouTube metrics. Oh, get excited, looking awkward here. Definitely worse than Aftershock would be. Didn't matter, still dead.
Back here. That's no way to treat your queen.
Yeah, so far our deck when we don't have this card has been real mediocre. I don't really know what our deck feels like when we have this card because it hasn't come up yet. Nah, I don't think playing Jinx makes sense. That sounds bad. The bot is good in general if you have a way to leverage turning its ignitions into meaningful cards. I mean, to be fair, Get Excited gets a lot better when when I add Ballistic Bot to my deck. Alright, fair warning, I'm gonna start fragging people in chat that are just shouting out random cards. When you joined my chat, there were chat rules, and one of them was explaining how to use the card recommendation command. Please abide. I'm a man of my word. Yeah, this is a lot of threes at this point. 3 of these is too many. Runeterra. I'm only gonna get excited. Rummage pairs well with Chump Wump here. Go hard to start seems fine.
Bless the faithful and fear the heretics. Follow the horizon.
I mean, yeah, that's why we just added Rummage Burgundy. So we could draw the landmark consistently.
To serve the greater good.
Is it a flavor fail that Augmented Experimenter does not have the new augment keyword? Asking the real questions.
I'll show the hunters.
Yeah, this is our first time playing Hexcore on 3. In the set so far. We're still on the hunt for a Zoe deck. Nah, we had 2 different playable Zoe decks last night. We're gonna play another Zoe deck up next after this, Zoe Victor. Holy shit. M carry turn. Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. That's a giant pile of yeah, good morning. Happy set release day. Alright, sorry, distracted. I think we're Mystic Shot. I guess I can Mystic Shot the goat when it attacks next turn. So I'll play Chump Wump here to generate some things. Thank you for your absurd generosity carry turn. Casually gifting to an 1/8 of the viewers, yep. To all of our newest members of Hoglandia, you should pop into the subscriber Discord server as well. I'm gonna manually sync that for anybody that wants to pop in there. Normally it syncs automatically every so often, but I'm gonna kick it right now.
But can you float?
But can you float? Try and murder this before it can buff things up here. And now, like, and here's the other part that's kind of awkward of our kind of A-B combo deck, right? So, like, we had Hexcore early here this game, but I don't have a way to put a bunch of mushrooms in their deck currently, like a good sustained way to do it.
Some action. Unyielding.
Earth to Jordan, thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Merry Christmas to you too, M. Carry Turn. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're just playing Ballistic Bot. We'll get this going so we can get the Rummage next turn. This card making you a free ignition every turn is real good.
Safety disengaged.
I think we start with Rummage and see if we can find a Teemo or one of our things that loads mushrooms into their deck. None so far. I probably don't need triple Hexcore Foundry at this point, right? I think I'm gonna play this now just because I want to get copies into my deck to draw. This is our third copy of this. Sparklefly is very good. We played 3 different Zoe decks last night, and Sparklefly was definitely like the best card in them all evening. Opponent is a Noxious deck, so like they could have potentially some reach in their deck. Yes, yeah, extra copies of Go Hard are created. Champions that get shuffled into your deck from champion spells are also created cards. Oh right, that's just straight up unkillable. Excuse you. Oh, you know what? I should glimpse this. Probably. Zero mushrooms in the opponent's deck still so far. Not looking good for the home team. Teemo can't get in here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Primed and ready.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
I'll have what he's having.
Okay, there's a peddler. Can you improve perfection, chat? Asking the important questions.
To serve the greater good. Your fate was written.
Mostly just want to open up space on my bench here for Doom Beast. Okay, are we opening attacks? Or do I get to pack your bags?
The old tongues are spoken in blood.
Never submit.
Yeah, we're super dead, right? This is 15 with overwhelm. And again, like, that was a game where we had our Hexcore on 3, right? And then we just didn't have anything to do with it. Okay. We have fearsome blockers. We have a way to shoot something. I don't know. Ruination was exceptionally awkward. Like, Ruination is the type of card where when your opponent is good at Runeterra, it gets exceptionally worse. The power level of Runeterra versus people that understand the priority system versus people that don't is night and day. The sweepers in Runeterra give such an incredible back and forth chance for counterplay. Hisalung, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. That's true. We do have Teemo and Hexcore this time through. Yeah, I agree, Presspick. This is the one. This is the one. We have all of the things. Obviously, the details here are very muddled, but this is the core, right? It is. This is the core. Ends now. We shall return.
Armed and ready. Center starts with mushrooms. Success is planting your mushrooms right.
So I think we just go Ballistic Bot into Doom Beast here. We can give Kalista the clap if they open attacks next turn. If they don't open attacks, we can drop Peddler as another blocker. Hey, Bruno BM, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I want to kill Kalista first, so that way if they can murder some of their own things. If they have, like, a glimpse for this, for example. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to block the Kalista there because of Pale Cascade. Or maybe I'm supposed to not Mystic Shot this and just take 8. That's probably the plan. I'm probably supposed to just take 8 there. Hey, Blitz Legend, thanks for the tip. Howling Mind Twisted Bait. Sounds good. One go hard, please. Okay, well.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Have 3.
You?
Alright, it's probably correct to play Doom Beast here, but I'm gonna instead put a bunch of mushrooms in their deck. Just putting a bunch of mushrooms in their deck is the more fun play. And Teemo's a fun guy, chat, so we're gonna make the fun play.
I've always been a fun guy.
They'll never know what hit them.
Alright, so that's 58 puff caps and 24 cards. So we only got to high roll a little bit. They're averaging 4 damage on this draw here.
Disengage.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Never lucky, chat. Never lucky. Cause I'm low rolling. Do do do. Do do do. Please take 8. Please take 6. Just no justice in the world. They had no reason to draw cards there. And there are just so many puff caps in their deck, and they just drew 2 cards for just no reason. Do we glimpse or Mystic Shot? That's not how Runeterra works.
My best.
Yeah, there might be a variation of this out there somewhere. Alan ZQ and Grappler were both playing variations of this archetype, and I watched Grappler for a bit last night. My 6-month-old has not been going to bed till almost 2 a.m. most nights, so I've been able to catch Grappler's late stream, and his build looked okay. I don't remember offhand exactly what his differences were between what he was doing and what we're doing here, but man, this deck just got dumpstered again and again and again. And like, that last game felt like a good example of some of the struggles you're gonna have, right? Like, that last game, we played Teemo on 1, we played Hexcore on 3, we had some removal for their aggro deck, and we still just kind of died. So, yeah. Alright, let's shift gears here. We got plenty of more sweet things. For those that are new to the channel, all of those deck names listed in the stream title are decks that we plan to play today in the order in which I plan to play them.